those of you who don't know, we are together, we are a couple like in real life. We also have different businesses. So I have a business on the French market. So I have like two big business. It's like one is a marketing agency and the other one is that I sell online courses.
We've gone through our own entrepreneurial journeys and we're still going on them. And I think, you know, between the two of us and then even individually, like we have a lot of stuff that we can share just through our own personal experiences. And especially like if you are really ambitious and like you're like an ambitious couple, like we're both entrepreneurs, we both have a lot of things that we want to accomplish in our lives. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
What's up? It's Neha and Tom, the hosts of the Millionaire's Mic. And we were talking, we were like, wait, we've never done an episode like us just sitting down together and talking about like the ways that we work as a couple and building our businesses and all that stuff.
What our business is, what do we do and all that stuff. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So we thought it'd be valuable for us to, you know, sit down and kind of explain the things that we do, that we, as a couple, that we do to like kind of best optimize our life, like individually, but also together.
Yeah, like we're going to talk about all of this. And also we want to also explain why we create this podcast and like how did we met and like how do we like build that together. I think it's important because like from your point of view you just see the interview and we interview people but you don't really know what we do every day
or how we met them too.
Yeah,
like a lot of times I get people who are like, oh, every time in my DMs people are like, how are you meeting these millionaires?
Yeah, same.
Like, how do you know these people? And I'm like, well.
Same. It's like people. Sometimes people like comment about my accent, so we're gonna explain everything. Don't worry. Everything makes sense. Don't you worry. We're gonna explain. So let's start first by, you know what? We're gonna start by my accent, and then we're gonna explain why. You're gonna see. So
why the accent?
So I'm French, so that's why. No, I'm French, and so that's why I have the accent. I hate my accent. I tried. I tried to make it better. For those of you who don't know, we are together. We are a couple, like in real life. We also have different businesses. It's very important for me that I can help her. She can help me on some topics, but I want to have like stuff apart. I think it's healthier and it's good to have like our own like kind of world and where we work.
Also, we have a lot of similar ambitions, but we also have different ones too, and different expertise in different things.
Yeah, like for example, like you love real estate.
Yeah.
I hate that. I mean,
and he loves stocks and crypto, and I'm like,
yeah, and I don't say real estate's bad. It's just like I love everything that is like fast. So I love stocks. I love crypto. You don't talk to anyone. You want to sell, you sell. You have the money 2-3 days after on your bank account. Love it, you know. But I love the fact that real estate you have also like good leverage, and it's very good. And so yeah, like, do you remember how did we create this podcast? I have no idea.
I remember because it was my idea.
That's why.
So we've been dating for about 2 years, but I think it was like maybe less than a year into a relationship. I think we were. Yeah. It was maybe a couple months into our. Maybe not a couple months. I think we were maybe dating for about 6 months or something at that point. And we were talking about like wanting to start a business together. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about like, with his own business, he wanted to do a podcast. And I mean, I talk a lot, so a podcast seems a bit fitting for me, I feel like.
You do.
So I was like, hey, like, I think we should do a podcast together. And since we're both entrepreneurs and we know different types of entrepreneurs, I think it'd be really cool for us to, you know, focus on high tier entrepreneurs. So whether they're millionaires, they're running 7-figure businesses, or, you know, they're not just the bro who's got entrepreneur in their title. Like they really are like doing something. And we wanted to kind of get like a really raw, unfiltered like look behind the scenes, because it's very easy to see like, oh, this person's a millionaire, oh, their business is doing well.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't actually know like what they did or like how they got there.
The struggles and all stuff.
Exactly. And all of the failures that they've been through, like the shit that they went through before.
Like I hate podcasts in general because most of them is just like they sell themselves. And it's cool, like nothing wrong about that, but it's just like as a watcher, you have zero value and you're like, okay, like how can I get that, you know? And also it's something that really like appealed to me because so I have a business on the French market. So I have like two big business. It's like one is a marketing agency and the other one is that I sell online courses about how to make money online, and on the French market for now. And so the thing is that the French market is so much more different than the US market. I feel here, um, everybody is willing to help anyone as long as they can see value in it. What I mean by that is that if you're not stupid, people will help you. And when I
Yeah.
say help you, of course they're not going to work for you, but they're going to give you like what they did and how they succeed and what were the struggle. And that's why like at the beginning I was like, I don't know, because like the French market
Yeah.
is like you
He
make.
was like, there's no way people are just going to talk to
Yeah,
us.
because on the French market it's like that. Like people, they make like 100, 200,000, which is for the US market nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still good, and congrats if you do that. It's awesome. The fact that you can do that by yourself, amazing. I love that. And I made like several millions, and people still think because I don't know the good person on the French market, or I don't want to know the good person, they are better than me, and I'm like fuck you. And I thought it would be the same in the US, and I have to admit that it's so different. Here I'm nobody. Nobody know me. Nobody know what I did, and I love that. I love that because I have to start kind of all over again, and it's very cool. But people are just being kind with me.
Yeah.
They just be like, and as soon as we start talking, they know I'm not dumb. I'm not a beginner. They know like I handle shit. So it's pretty good, and that's why I was like, okay, let's do it. And it also allow us to meet a lot of
Yeah,
fucking
it's been a
smart people.
really cool way for us to meet like really amazing people. If you guys have been listening to like the past episodes that we've come
Yeah,
out with, like these
yeah,
people are crazy in terms of business, but they're also just like the kindest people I think that
yeah.
we've ever met. Like they truly mean well. Like they're really great people that have like really gone through their own challenges and that have,
And
come out successfully. And I think that that's super valuable to share.
yeah, and what I love, it's like you see on Instagram mostly like entrepreneur, and you're like, wow, like they're not human. But yes, at the end of the day, those people are human, and that's why I love that, because you can go deeper in their personality, in their life, and you just see that nobody has excuse, because people are just people, and they just decide to make shit of their life, and I really love that. So it's
Yeah.
very
I
cool.
think almost in every episode when we're interviewing the guests that we have, we're like we think that we've gone through some shit. And then we listen to
Yeah.
what they say and we're like we should be embarrassed. Like we're not doing enough. Like they really went through it and they were still able to come out on top. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's been just a really cool experience. So we're excited to continue growing and to go down this
Yeah,
path. It's been really
and
fun.
the point at some point I was like, like we don't produce a lot. So on the French market, I have a YouTube channel of 100,000. So I know how it is to create content. 100,000 subscribers, sorry. So I know how it is to create content, and if you're not consistent, if you don't produce a lot, you won't exist. So that's why I was like, hey, we need to create more content, and even if we cannot have like more guests, because it's tough to get guests,
Yeah.
because you need to like contact everyone, they need to agree, then you need to
Well,
agree on
finding
it,
time
finding
also.
time, finding a good date. And we travel a lot, because of course my family, my friends, they're also in Europe. So we try to we have business, and we try to link everything, and sometimes it just doesn't make it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it would be cool if we would have like a part where we don't solely depend on people. It can
Also,
be
like
just us.
we've gone through our own
Yeah. Oh
entrepreneurial
yeah.
journeys. We're
Oh yeah.
still going on them. And I think, between the two of us and then even individually, like we have a lot of stuff that we can
Yeah.
share just through our own personal experiences. So yeah, well,
No.
you'll get
Yeah.
to hear more
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff from us too.
So the vision behind that is to have, of course, some guests, to do some podcasts together, but also to do some podcasts like just her, just me, and not necessarily podcast, but it can be just like a video where we talk about a specific topics. I think it will be really helpful, because we really went through all of those stuff. And of course we have so many things to grow, to learn, and it would be cool. But I think it would be nice to do that. And there's something that I love to do, is create content. I love
Yeah,
that. So
same. Both of us love creating
yeah,
content,
it's the best.
so
It's the best thing.
that's a great spot.
That's
So
why I love, because anyone can make money. If it's your goal, anyone can make money out of nothing. You just need to create content, to find like a niche, like help people that's gonna watch your content, and boom, that's it.
yeah.
Like I did it. I know a lot of people that did it, and it's amazing to do that.
Yeah. So that's kind of how we got to this podcast, why we're doing this in the first place. And
Yeah.
we're really excited to grow it. Like that's been one of our goals for this year, which we'll get into that in a minute of like since it's a new year. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
but that's been one of our biggest goals is like we want to, continue growing this and to see how we do.
Yeah, and also the main reason why we did this podcast was not for money, because of course
No, it's
right
just
now we don't monetize that. There is no
we're
point.
actually losing money
Yeah, we
because we
lose money
spend
because
money on
we
editing
have
and
like
everything.
equipment. Sometimes we rent
Yeah, we
some
rent a
spaces.
studio and stuff.
Right now we're in your office, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But and then we have editing and all the stuff. So we're losing money. But the point is to meet people, interesting people. Of course, at some point we're gonna monetize that for sure, because otherwise it's not sustainable. But that's why I want to point out is that never start something for the money, because you're gonna stop as fast as possible, because the money won't come easy.
Yeah.
And so that's why you need to be passionate. Like we are passionate about like
Yeah.
interviewing people, spending
Like
time
we
with
get
them.
excited to like
It's cool.
schedule someone, we get the opportunity to see them. We're like, okay, cool, awesome.
Exactly. It's so nice, and it helps us to just go on and on and on, because we are not seeking for like fast reward. We are
Yeah.
seeking to build something, and that's the best thing to do. So that's why I wanted to point out that never do something for just the money. Of course, it will be the end goal at the end, but it's not like the main reason, because if it's that, you're gonna lose everything.
Yeah. And you'll never grow because you don't like it.
Yep.
So, with that being said, since it's the new year, we wanted to kind of kick off with something that we started doing since we've started dating.
Yeah.
Is at the end of the year, we kind of like to do, well, we started it last year. Last year is in 2023, not 2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we only
Yeah.
met at the end of 22, so we were not doing this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But at the end of 2023, I think you found this, I think somewhere on Instagram or something. You saw a video.
Yeah, I think it was Instagram. I saw like a couple doing like so what she's talking about is like doing goals in couples. And I was like, oh, that could be nice,
Yeah.
because I do it by myself. She does it by herself. I'm like,
Yeah.
that could be good to first explain what are your goals this year, what are my goals this year. That way you will know if I need to go through a hard season, or you have to. I could understand you better. And second is like, of course, when you are like a couple, for me, you're like a team. So
Yeah.
at some point, you're gonna have like common goals. And if you don't put it on paper, or what we did is on PowerPoint, you will never make them. So
Yeah. And especially like if you are really ambitious and like you're like an ambitious couple, like we're both entrepreneurs, we both have a lot of things that we want to accomplish in our lives. It's actually so much more productive for us to sit down
Yeah.
together and make sure that we're kind of aligned and we're working towards not only our personal goals, which I think are really important to have, like we both have our own personal things that we want, but then
Yeah.
also together what we are looking to do. Because I think a lot of times people can also grow apart too if they're not aligned. So
that's true. That is true.
we've been liking kind of getting to do this alignment. So end of 2023, we sat down, we opened up a Canva document and we put down, like he put down on a couple sides, like his personal goals.
Yeah.
I put down my personal goals. And we try to quantify them as much as possible too. Like we're not just like, oh, I want to be, I don't know.
Okay.
Like,
The best example. I'm gonna.
I was
give
like,
you.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Now I'm gonna give you the best example. I want to make money.
Yeah,
For
okay, yeah.
example, this example is the worst you can make, because you just go to Publix, you walk, you see $1, you made money.
Yeah.
So you
Or like you
succeed.
found $1 on the floor.
Yeah,
you
you
found
succeed in your
$5
goal.
on the
You
floor.
made money, but that's not what it meant. So that's why we want. Anytime we put like some goals, we want to put numbers. Like either a number, for example, I want to make like 10 million, 1 million, 100,000, whatever. I want to lose weight. Okay, how much are we talking about? Like 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, Like you have to numerize. Is that good? No, you have the number. You have to put a number on that.
Think numerize is a
Sorry, my
correct
French,
word.
sometimes I messed up. You have to put a number on that. That's very important. And if you don't put a number on that, it's okay. You can put a time frame. For example, I want to quit my job by June, blah, blah, blah. I want to go on a world tour before this date. It's very important to have like something you can track, because if you have like just, oh, I want to make money, you cannot track that, because it's
Yeah.
not tangible. So it's like,
And it's like, how much money? When do you want to
Yeah,
make
exactly.
money? And also, we try to be realistic in our goals too. So we're not like, oh, I want to make, if you're hypothetically, let's say you're making $5,000 a month, we're not going to set a goal of like, I want to make $10 million by next
Yeah.
month. Like, that is just unreasonable. I mean,
Yeah,
unless
that's
you know that you're going to be getting that kind of money, you know?
there's this sentence, and I know everybody know this one. It's like you overestimate what you do in 1 year, and you underestimate what you can do in 10 years, and
Yeah,
that's so
it's
true.
so true.
So that's why don't put a lot of pressure if you fail your goals, because you mostly will, and it's okay. Like I was super stressed before because I don't know it is in or is it in the US, but in France it's like you have, like, for example, at school, if you fail, and
Yeah,
then it's like a disaster.
it's the same
But
here.
okay,
If you fail,
but
you're
but
screwed.
but life, it's not like that. Like, for example, last year I set up a goal to make 1 million with my business, one specific business. um, I didn't. I did, like, I think 40% of it. Why? Because I didn't think about the fact that something happened in my life that took me 7 months of the year,
Yeah.
and that thing is like I need to work on my visa, and I didn't anticipate, and I didn't like
Well, there were a
evaluate
lot of
how big it
there
would
were
be.
also a lot of hiccups that came along with that were
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
just unforeseen.
No, no, of
So,
course, of course. So that's why. But the fact that the fact that I had this goal, I put everything in order to succeed to this goal. So even if I did just 40% of that, I'm like, you know what? It's better than zero, because I I forced myself to put myself in a position where I could reach and succeed to this goal. And so that's why this year it's gonna be the same goal, even though I don't put number now. I just know another number that is more important for me. It's like how much I make per hours. So that's why I want to increase. And but I but as I work the whole past year on achieving the past goal, I'm in good position right now to succeed. So
yeah.
that's why.
Yeah. So, when we do this sit down, like I said, we're doing our individual stuff, but then also what we have
Hmm.
as a couple. And one of the things that we really didn't do that much last year that we know that we want to do this year is we set in check in times. Like, we set those goals at the end of 2023, and we were supposed to do like check ins every like.
Check in the restroom.
We were,
Check in. We
yeah,
flush them.
yeah. Check in was like,
Adios.
yeah. We were supposed to do check ins like every 3 to 4 months to make
Yeah.
sure that we're, on track. Do we need to change anything? Are these still relevant goals in our minds?
Do we still want them?
Exactly. Do we still want them? Because I think a lot of things can also change within a 6 month time. You can be like, oh, this is what I want. And you kind of maybe start working towards it. And then you're like, yeah, never mind. Like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
So to be totally transparent, we really did not do
I
that
mean, I
last
I
year.
did that on my own because I'm checking all my goals on like a Notion, and we were doing that on Canva. So I did that a little bit, and I knew what was good, what was not good, even for her. I didn't
Yeah.
tell her because I was like I wanted to
No,
see.
I knew too, but like we didn't sit down
Mm,
and like
and
go
talk.
through it in the way that we really should have.
Yeah,
So that's another thing when we did ours at the end of 2024 for this year.
yeah.
We were like, no, we like put like a Google Calendar invite. We were like, no, we're like sitting down and
And we don't
we're
mess
just
up.
gonna go through this.
So basically, we do every quarter.
Yeah.
We do like a meeting, and we're gonna see where we go. Like, for example, we have our own goals about business, about life. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to do more sports. I want to lose weight. Blah blah.
Yeah.
But we have also common goal, like we want to travel,
Hmm.
and so it's good to have quarterly meeting, because we can be like, oh, what trip did we take
Yeah.
like during this quarter,
Yeah.
and we can assess and be like, okay, we did that. Okay, we're on good track.
And I think that's like another really important thing because I think with like goal setting and stuff, I think a lot of times it tends to be professional, which is great. I think obviously that's like a great time to do that. But we try to incorporate like what you just said, Tom. Like we try to incorporate these other things like, oh, we want to, be more fit. We want to travel more. But that could also look like you want to spend more family time or you want
Yeah.
to, we actually put this last year and for this year we want to make like more valuable like friendships. Like
Yeah,
it can
yeah.
I think it's actually really good to have a combination of like professional like self stuff and then also just like what you guys want on a social level too. I think that's really
Yeah, because
important.
like on social media you just see like talking about money, like
Yeah.
Lamborghini, Rolex, but it's not life.
Yeah.
Life is just
Yeah,
like the
it's not
moment.
life.
Like, for example, my best moment with you is not like the gift we gave to each other. I don't even remember
I don't
those.
even remember.
It's like the trip we took,
Yeah.
like the
And the
memories we made,
memories we make.
and
Yeah.
like the the joke we had, like the fucked up moment we had because when you travel you have a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's the
Yeah.
best thing for me, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's exactly like what you said. It's about life. Like you're building a life. And I think it's really important to not get so drowned out in like trying to kill yourself over professional goals. You need to balance that with things that make you happy, you
Yeah,
know?
but even personal goal, like I see too many people like being like honestly in depression because of their goal. Like it should be fun. Like
Yeah. And
uh,
what you really want to.
yeah,
And
like I used to be a huge gamer. Like you have no idea.
used to be.
No, I don't have time anymore. But
Yeah.
I used to play a lot to World of Warcraft. So it's a MMORPG, and that's for me it's amazing because life is like that. That's the way I see life. You know, it's like you are your own hero and you can do anything. You know, and that's why it's okay if you fail. Like it's fine. Like
Yeah.
for the people that watch this video and that used to play a lot of World of Warcraft and used to go on red, you know what it is to
This is
wipe.
for those people.
All right, you know what it is to wipe on a boss. You know that life is like that. You're gonna wipe sometime,
Yeah.
but you're gonna come back, be better, and then you're gonna succeed. So yeah, that was the nerdy moment.
Nerd
But
alert.
but that's so true. I see so many people like feel they are a piece of shit because life told them they are, but they are
Yeah.
not. You know, like when I say that, it's like you have a bad relationship, you have a bad job, like your boss is an asshole with you, he's treating you like shit. But life is not like that. Like you can decide to quit, to renew, to do all over again if you want to,
Yeah.
and that's okay. That's okay, and that's why
Yeah.
I love that.
And you can't beat yourself up when life things happen. Like for you, I know that you wanted to have more things that you were able to accomplish with your business, but like because he was doing his visa stuff, like
Yeah,
that is
priorities.
like a life thing where it was like, I know that it wasn't that fun to work on it and stuff. You'd
Was the
rather be
worst.
working on your business. But at the end of the day, it's really important for you to be able to stay here
Yeah.
in the US and build a life here.
Yeah, because that's priority.
Yeah.
You know.
So, and there's like, and like what you said, like that's how life is. There's going to be times where, you know, maybe you have unexpected loss or things like that just happen. That is life, you know, and that changes, and it's okay to kind of take those moments, and you know, you might have to change things around. So,
Yeah. So that's
but
some.
still stay focused, you know.
So,
I think
yeah,
it's important.
exactly.
Don't lose the plot, but don't beat yourself up if you know you're not exactly like where you want to be because something happened.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. So that's something we did a lot for this meeting, like at beginning of the year. It's like to be a content, and also to be
To be
super
accountable.
to be a to be
And
a content.
I'm
Oh
like,
my
if
god.
you want to be an accountant,
No, I don't want.
like
I don't
be
want.
my
I don't want
guest.
to be a CPA.
I don't want to be an
Oh
accountant.
my god, yeah, that's gonna be a lot. Like you see, when I talk too much, sometimes it's not good.
It's okay, my love.
No, but yeah, you want to be accountable, not an accountant, and you also want to say the truth to your partner. You know, like
Yeah.
for example, she had like one of her goal, and it didn't make sense. The way that it was, like her action didn't meet her goal. It was not possible. So that's why at this point it was very important for me as a partner to be like, hey, are you sure this is a goal you want?
Yeah.
Because from what I saw from you, I don't think you're gonna reach to that. And then, you know, by questioning her with like a lot of different questions, she realized that it was not necessarily this goal she wanted, but what came with this goal. And so she could change the goal to fit better what she's doing and how she can like reach this goal.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes it's stupid because I could be like, oh yeah, it's, congratulations, I love.
Yeah, like, oh, you're the best.
Yeah, but
Which he does do.
yeah,
We do that, of course.
I do that
but
when you do good thing, but and you do the same. Like the point is to grow together.
Yeah.
And I know some people hate when we say the truth. I hate some people. I know some people hate when we are upfront. But for me, that's the way I see relationships, like friendship, relationship, like in love or family. It's like you have to tell the truth because if you don't, people cannot grow. You know.
Yeah, especially because we always have each other's best interests in mind.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say something to make you feel like shit. Like it's
No.
because
Even if it's
I-
funny sometimes
Yeah.
to bully you.
like even if like I mean aside from joking around and stuff,
Yeah.
but like if we know ultimately like you want this outcome
Yeah.
and you're not doing the things to get there, it's really healthy to have that discussion and be like, I don't think you're like, if first of all, is that end goal really what you still want? And I don't, if so, then the steps that you're taking to get there are not doing it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's like so important to be like, okay, you want to do that, but right now what you're doing is not working. So I can help you. For example, she wanted to do something with her social media,
Yeah.
and I help clients every day with social media. So I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing right now. It's not working.
He's
So
actually said it sucks and it's boring.
that's why I said because for my defense, no, I'm gonna explain. It's just that she's doing unfortunately what everybody are doing. It's like, oh, there is a trend, so I'm gonna copy and paste the trend. But the problem with that is like she's like droning her personality, and she has an incredible personality. And I was
Oh,
like, that's sad because I know that, but people that don't know you, they cannot see that. And so that's why I'm like, you need to work on your brand. You need to work on your personal brand, especially, and to make it grow. And so you need to be the trend. You don't need to follow the trend. And so that's why we're working on that.
yeah.
Because otherwise she would be stuck. And her problem is like she wanted to grow her account for so long, and she's been stuck for so long. And the problem is like if you don't, I love this quote. It's that if you do the same thing but expect a same difference,
Same result.
no,
Or different result.
yeah, sorry. So if you do the same thing over and
He's
over again,
glitching a little bit
but
sometimes.
but you're expecting a different result, you are crazy. She's not. She's not crazy. So
I'm a little crazy.
that's
Just kind
so
of
that's why
depends
that's
on.
why if she wants those results, she needs to change the angle, like the way she's doing that.
Yeah. I feel like that should be one of the episodes that you do is like a social media like intensive, like things that you've
Yeah, I
learned.
could do that. I could do that, like because I love to work on social media. I hate social. That's so funny. I hate social media. I love creating
That's
content,
funny.
but I hate algorithm. I hate all of the stuff. I hate that so much. But it's a powerful tool, you know. So
Yeah. But long story short, that's kind of like the specific stuff that we're doing goal setting wise. And,
yeah,
you know, we haven't actually, I mean, amongst our friends and stuff, I don't really think we know that many people that are doing it. We've seen some
I
stuff on
think we
social media,
didn't
but
talk about it. I mean,
yeah, that's
no, we
true
talked about it
actually.
like a few days ago with some
Oh,
friends.
yeah, we did.
And they do.
They actually do that
They
too,
are
though.
doing that, but they're entrepreneur,
Yeah, that's true.
so that
But
makes sense.
if you guys are listening in on this and you're like wanting to, you know, grow together as a couple too, like what we were saying, like have
Yeah.
your own businesses, maybe have something together, whatever. But even if you don't want to have a business together, you both are ambitious, you both want different things. Or even if you're not entrepreneurial, I think there's a
No.
lot of value of just you guys coming together and making sure you're like on the same page.
Yeah, you don't need to grow like to do that because you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can do that even if you are a W-2 employee. It's fine.
Exactly. Like, oh, I want to start a family next year or something. Whatever
Exactly.
that looks like. You
And
want to make sure you're on the same page.
and I know some people are afraid of setting goal because they're like, oh, but what if I don't succeed? Like what we were talking about earlier. But what you can do is like you can make it fun, like make cocktail,
Yeah.
make food, and do it all together.
Yeah.
And I feel it's like a really good moment for bonding, you know,
Yeah.
together. I
No,
mean,
it's
we didn't
great
do
to-
that. We just we did the goal because we love to do that, you know.
Yeah.
But I know
Like
some
we get excited doing
yeah,
stuff
I know,
like
but
that.
some people could be like afraid of that, and that's okay. That's okay
Like pop
too.
open a bottle of wine, have some ice cream, whatever it is that makes you feel like it's a fun experience. Like
Get chicken wings.
yeah, just make it a fun experience,
Yeah.
you know? Make it a fun little like night in and you're just kind of going through
Yeah, exactly.
stuff. I mean, I also do that separately for like I make a digital vision board, which if any of you guys follow me on social media, I always do a digital vision board every single year. Like I always make it my phone lock screen and then
Yeah.
also my iPad lock screen because I'm looking at it all the time, which I don't make an event out of it. I just because I love
Yeah.
scrolling on Pinterest
And
and,
I-
I just save
and I don't
stuff.
do it.
And he doesn't do that. So
Like-
like he doesn't care.
No, that doesn't work on me. I
Yeah.
tried, but I'm like, remember when we met? I had one, and I never took a look at
I
that.
don't even remember that.
Exactly.
I was like, I don't remember you ever having one.
I had one, but I'm like, no, that
Yeah.
it's not working on me. Like what I do, it's like every month. So as an entrepreneur, every month I have to pay all my team, all my tools, to see how much like I made, how much goes in savings, pay taxes, all the stuff. And so I took like I take like an afternoon, let's say, to do all of this. And a part of this moment is to go on my okay where I am toward my goals that I want to achieve, you know. And so I do that more frequently than just quarterly. But that's why I don't need like a vision board for
Yeah.
me.
But
Once again,
it's what works for you. Like I love having my
yeah.
digital vision board. I'm looking at it all the time. Also, I just think it's like aesthetically very pleasing. I think I like it as a background. I think it's very cute.
Yeah, like my background is just black.
Yeah.
I hate having like personal like picture on background,
Yeah.
but that's just me,
But
you
that's
know.
him.
That's just me.
But we do like doing our goal stuff together and making sure that we're
Yeah,
always on the same page.
we wanted to talk about that because I think it's like very important, and I also feel that doing that we're gonna achieve our long-term goal way faster
Yeah.
because we are putting ourselves in a direction that we want to go in a certain direction and achieve that.
Yeah.
So
Well, we're
that's very
kind of
cool.
setting ourselves up for success.
Yeah.
And we're both aligned and we're on the same page for that. It's not like you put something down and I have no clue about it. And then you're like, oh, we did this. And I'm like, huh? Like, or vice versa.
Exactly. Like for example, last year she had one of her goal that was, I think it was that you wanted to be owner, right? I think that was
A
it?
homeowner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay.
was like, I wanted to buy a house.
And so I don't care. Like we had this talk for a long time. Like she wanted to have her own house and live in it, and me I don't care. Like if I have real estate, it's just to make money out of it, you know. Um, we're gonna talk about that just later when we're gonna talk about money, and you're gonna see my vision about money. It's very interesting. It's so different from what you learn from your parents, I'm sure, because that's different from what I learned from my parents. But and me, I don't care. But the fact that I know she wants to be a homeowner, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So I know what she's gonna have to do in order to get that. So visiting houses, like have like a clean bank account and all the stuff. So that means that if we go to more restaurants, or if we go to some extra, if we do some extra, I'm gonna take on my credit card. That way,
As it should be.
that way her bank account will be cleaner. And no, as not it should be. We are
As it
team,
should be.
team. So yeah. So do you want to talk about now how we manage the money? I think it's
Yeah.
right past.
Well, yeah. We'll just go into like, we talk about money a lot, which
Yeah.
I also think that's like a really healthy thing for couples to do because I think actually, I mean, we're not married or anything, but I think the number one reason people get divorced is money. And
Yep.
I think it's very important to have discussions around money, what you guys like to spend on, what you don't want to spend on. Make sure that,
What is your style?
yeah, what's your style? Because it's not so much like, and also like, does someone have an excessive spending problem? Or the polar opposite, they don't spend any money on things. Those are all very
I love the
different.
US for that. What's your credit score?
Yeah.
That tells a lot. Trust me. But also when you were talking about that, it's the biggest financial decision you're gonna take in your life
Yeah.
is your partner.
Yeah.
It's not your house. It's not
No.
like the bad investment in crypto.
It's who you get married to.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's very important because that could like kill all your saving and all your effort in life. So don't mess up that. Like marriage can be a failure because of different reasons, but don't fail on the money part. It's so important because money can go very fast up, but down too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we've been so some people, especially in France, like I need to do like a small part on the on France versus money. So in France is so much more different from here in the US where it's not good to make money. Like everybody in France on everything we are average. So if someone make a little bit more money, it's not good. It's like oh but like they cheat or they did something bad to get that. They scam people. No, they just work more or they provide more value to the society. Maybe. So it's very funny. And I never liked this approach because for me, money is not like bad or good. It's just a tool, and then you do whatever you want with it. For me, money is like a knife. With a knife, you can kill people, but you can cut your tomatoes. What you gonna do with
Yeah.
that, you know? And so I had like bad dates when I was in France when the girl hated talking about money, and for me, it's part of my not my job, but I'm an entrepreneur, so I see money every time. So it's part of my life, you know. And so that's why the first date we start talking
Yeah.
about
We really got into it on our first
yeah
date. Like we talked about money, we talked about salaries, we talked about like
yeah
savings, like what do we do for spending, which I think a lot of people would, that would probably be a really jarring conversation to have on a first date.
Oh, like people that I know in France, when we talk about that, they're like shocked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because like I was in a position to date, but to be serious. So I'm not
Yeah,
going
same.
to waste time to talk about like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I want to know if that person right away she can be the one, you know.
Hmm.
And so that's why it's important to talk about those stuff. And also, you know, I really feel that people that are afraid to talk about money, they don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because why you're afraid of something that can give you a lot of opportunities?
Right.
I love money.
Yeah.
I embrace money
Me
because
too.
I know I can make money whenever I want to because I work a lot for that. But I also know with my knowledge that money, it's good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
No, it's a really powerful tool. And I think that's why it's like, it's very important to manage it well. You
Yeah,
can, because it can also be mismanaged. So,
exactly. And at the same time, as much as I love money, and you kind of the same. I mean, you're a girl, so it's a little bit more like me. But as much as I love money, you put me like every time we talk about like where do you want to live, I'm like, hey, you put me in a room with four white walls, a computer, internet, I'm happy. I don't need a lot because I'm just simple, you know. And I love that, you know, the fact that I can go crazy or I can go like super 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 frugal.
yeah.
Like we talk about that with like food.
Yeah. I was just going to
Yeah,
say
with food
that with
because
the food.
so to give you a bit of context, I'm French, so we love food.
Wait, you're French?
It's like it's a religion in France. Food is a religion. It's not like, oh, we cook good or blah blah blah. No, it's a religion. You have to understand. We don't mess up with food. And aside from that, I have a cooking diploma. So food is like top of the top for me.
And I
But
enjoy eating it.
yeah, because I can cook for whenever. But on top of that, of course, I can enjoy like a very very good restaurant. But sometimes you go to McDonald's and it's the best food ever. Wait, don't get me wrong, McDonald's in the US, not good. But in Europe, it's not that bad. Don't get me wrong too, we don't go that much. Like,
Yeah. Well, I was like, it's not even just McDonald's, but like we've always said, even if we're like billionaires someday, we
yeah,
will be so happy to literally go to Shake Shack and like
oh, I
get
love
food,
Shake Shack.
or like Chipotle. Like that is something,
Yeah,
no matter how much money we make, like, okay, sure, you can afford like crazy Michelin star dining and these really unique experiences, which, you know, we've done some of them and they're nice, but like, I feel like most of the time when we really are like, wow, this was so good, like, it's always eating something that's like
simple.
simple,
Yeah,
inexpensive.
it's the same. I love cooking, so most of the time we cook at home because when you know how to cook, food is so much more better. But we talked about that I think last week that for my birthday 2 years ago we went to San Francisco and we went to the Ritz and we arrived super late because our flight was late, blah blah blah. And I think that was the best food that we ever had. We Uber Eats McDonald's and we were eating.
Because we got into San Fran, I think it was like midnight
It
or
was 1
something.
a.m.
Yeah, it was so late, so everything was closed.
But that was the best. We had like
Yeah.
she had the Ritz
I think we have
robe
pictures of it still. It was so funny.
and we were eating like the fries and like food is like McDonald's is McDonald's,
Yeah.
but I love like the difference of
Yeah, the
like where
difference
we
is
are and where we eat.
hilarious.
And so that's why I feel some people take themselves too seriously with money. You need to be like to have fun, you know, like yeah, of course, like I know some people on the comment, like the keyboard warrior, they're gonna be like, oh, it's not good to eat fast food. I know it's not good,
Yeah, like
especially
it's not our diet every
especially in the
day.
US. But hey, sometimes just have fun. You know, we have one life. It's okay if like you make a lot of effort and sometimes you just do a bad choice for your health. It's fine.
Yeah.
So
And that's also another thing, like when we talk about like the friendships and stuff we have, like even though we have certain goals of where we want to be financially, like there are some people that are like, oh, we only want to hang around people that are of the same financial caliber, and like we don't give a shit. Like we're
yeah,
just like, if you guys are good, genuine people, like it doesn't matter. Like we are, I think honestly almost sometimes happier if we're like, like come over, we'll make a nice meal and we'll like have a
oh,
really
I
nice
love
night
that.
together, versus being like, let's go to this crazy like Michelin star
Yeah,
restaurant and spend, you know, $600 on a meal. Like a
yeah.
lot of times like
I
we,
had friends that were like that. It's
yeah,
like they needed to show off, and that just showed insecurity. You know,
yeah,
like as I
like they
said,
had to go to the cool restaurant, they had
yeah.
to be at the cool place, and we were like, I mean, we'll do like, don't get us wrong, we definitely do like going to like nice places, but like it's not really that important to us at the end of the day. We
No,
really
it's the
value
moments.
who we're with and the moments that you have with them.
Yeah,
So,
and especially like I'm gonna create a drama, but we need to talk about like tips in the US
oh yeah, that
restaurants.
shit's crazy.
Like for me it's crazy. It's crazy for me like that you have to pay like 20%. It's crazy. Like you guys have no idea. It's crazy. But anyway,
Well,
we,
yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna keep
like,
that for another
yeah, I was
podcast.
like, I think that could easily be another conversation for another day
Yeah,
because
like
that's
as I
there's a
said, like
lot.
I have a cooking diploma, so I work in restaurants in France. That makes no sense for me, and especially that food in the US is overpriced for the quality of what you eat. I'm telling you, it's crazy, and I love the US. Don't get me wrong, I love the US. It's the best country in the world, stars and stripe. But but the food is like that. There is a big problem with food, and I could make like a whole podcast about it because I'm so mad about that. Like everybody could be like healthy with good products, have like decent price with decent food in restaurants, and no, it's not the case. So that's so stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go back about money.
Yeah. I feel
So
like we covered a lot, didn't we?
no,
What else?
we wanted to talk. Like I think the most important, because like right now we are doing like other podcasts. We say we talk about money and we just talk money, but we don't talk about how we manage money.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
people want to know. They click
Yes.
on this video for that.
The people want to know.
Yeah. So go for you.
Why I have to do it?
You're the girl, right?
I thought you were gonna say it.
That is okay. I can do it. So, so basically, that's what I was saying earlier is that my vision about money is so different from what you learn at school, at your job maybe, or with your family. So my vision about money is that me, want to be the poorest as possible. I don't want to own anything on my own name. Okay, I want to have everything under my companies. My company needs to be rich. I need to be poor, because you have to understand that you're going to be always more taxed than your companies. That's why the richest on this earth, they all have company holding trust, blah, blah, blah. Because a company, you can write off, you can play with a lot of leverage that you cannot do in your own name. So my first thing is be poor. No, it's so important.
I know,
Be
which
poor,
I know sounds like ironic compared to everything else, but
yeah, be poor, but create a company, put a lot of money in your company, and that's how you're gonna enjoy and have a lot of more money. Okay, that's the first thing. Then the way I manage my money, it's like as I said, I don't want to overspend. So you see, you don't have a Rolex, it's a Samsung Galaxy watch, love it. You don't have like we don't have a Lamborghini or whatever,
yeah.
we don't care. So all this extra money that I could spend on stupid shit, I invest in stocks.
Yeah. That actually that bought like I you gave me an idea of like how we manage money and how we kind of view it cuz I'll be honest, we're at a bracket where we're pretty young and we make enough money that we could be living a way more extravagant life
Oh yeah,
than we do. But we both were like, why would we do that? Like, we can use that extra money to invest. And that way we are setting our futures up for success because we should use
exactly.
the fact that we're young to an advantage instead of like blowing it on like a really nice house, having like three cars for the two of us, and we both work from home anyway.
Yeah.
So like we I think even when I bought this house, like I bought under what I could technically
Yeah,
afford
that's
on purpose.
but we had a flex, like we had four bedrooms
Yeah.
because we needed two offices, one for her, one for me. Then we have like a guest bedroom, and of course we have a room. But that's enough. Is
But
crazy.
like
With
most
just the
people,
two of us.
yeah, exactly. But and I'm like, this is tons of space for the two of us. Like we have plenty of space between the two of us. But some people might look at it and be like, oh, why didn't you guys just buy like a house? You guys could have a house since you guys want to, get married and
Yeah, it's a
do the whole
townhouse. That's
yeah,
why
and do the whole 9 yards. And we were like, but why? Like, why do we want to spend?
we don't need it
Could
right
we
now.
afford it? Sure, but like, why? What is the reason that we would need to spend extra money on something that we really do not need at the time?
Yeah, and especially that I love to travel. You do too.
Yeah, we both love
But
traveling.
with my job, I can work from anywhere in the world. So since I made money with my company every month, I'm anywhere in the world. So and that's what we did. Since
Yeah,
we know
we've
each
been
other
doing that a lot.
every month, we are outside. So why will we spend like so much money for something we not even like all the time? For example, when I got my visa this year, we basically between August
Yeah, we were in Europe
and
for two
December,
months.
we left for 3 months all over the world, especially in Europe, but all over the world. So I'm like, that's stupid. That's like 25%. Yeah, 25% that you're not going to spend in your house. That's so stupid to
Yeah.
overspend it.
Well, also even like I have my car, you have your car, and he doesn't like his car, so he like most people would be like, "Oh, well like just buy another car, like get like a nice luxury vehicle." But what we're going to do is we're just going to sell his car and we just share my car.
Yeah,
Like again, we both work from home. So what like why do we need another
yeah,
luxury car that is literally going to sit in the garage? Like we always, first of all, we both work from home. If we're going out anywhere, like 99% of the time we're going together. So there's, I mean, I think we can probably count on one hand the times we've needed to go
separately.
separately, which we can arrange to not have that situation happen anyway.
Yeah, and that's a big, big, big savings. Like when I cut my insurance because I
Yeah.
don't drive my car anymore, like that's crazy. That was 150.
Well, you still have it. It's just on mine, but
No, 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 no. But when I cut
yeah, like
mine,
not having two separate
it was
insurance
it was like
policies.
no 150 was with you is 150 more, but it was like 180 or something. And as soon as I cut it, I received like a mail like threatening me to put it back, otherwise I could not drive my car. I was like, what the? I won't say it, but I was like, what? It's crazy. So yeah. Plus you have like to be good that the car is working. To check in like every 2 years or something. So I'm like, I don't need it, and I don't like this car. I bought this car because I needed it when I came here first for my visa, so that's why.
Yeah.
But
But I'm saying like some people would look at that and be like, "Oh, you guys could have done this, you could have done that," but we're like that doesn't align where we're at now. Like
yeah,
everything that we have is working perfectly the way that we need it to. There's no reason for us to really
yeah,
get
and
more.
and honestly, I prefer. So that's why I was saying like I prefer to over invest
Yeah.
and buying assets because what is cool is like by the time I don't need the money right now, it's making babies. That's why I love to say, but my money making money. And so when I will need to buy like a nice car because I don't know, like I got crazy, I'm like, oh, now it's the time. I'm gonna buy a good car. I will, and I
Yeah.
cool, and that's why it's very good. So I really overspend. I put everything on my company, as I said. I underspend my lifestyle, because honestly, when you arrive at a point where you're like, no matter if I make like 20 or 40,000 more, my lifestyle is good. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to invest more and that's it. That's just like
Like
the
we have a pretty
difference.
good
Yeah.
lifestyle at our minimum.
Is it could it be better? Of course, but do we need that to be
Yeah.
happy? No. Like it's just like so stupid that people they are chasing happiness because they're not happy in their life and they try to buy like new designer clothes every time. Okay, but what did you buy that will make you money?
Yeah. And that's the other thing. Like both of us really focus on investing. We try to keep our our expenses as low as possible.
But what is funny is like, yes, but at the same time we are not like
Yeah, we're not cheap
crazy.
either. Like
Yeah,
we're not
and
like some people are super crazy where they're like not a dollar more. We're like,
yeah, and we're not crazy about that. Like we're not tracking like
yeah.
every day how much
I
we
don't even think
spend.
we track at all.
I track like every month
Like I mean,
because
I submit credit card statements and stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
but
No, like it's simple. Like I never been in negative my whole life. That's
yeah.
something that terrify me, and they will never happen. So I put myself in a position that I'm not.
But I think we try to have like a healthy relationship and not be stingy. Like even if we're out to dinner with our friends, like we'll foot the bill. Like a lot of the time, we'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna take you
Yeah.
guys out," things like that. Where I mean, it's just like nice stuff to do. We're not like, "Oh, we need to be like saving. We need to be like penny pinching in this type of
Yeah, and,
way."
and
We
also what is good is like most of the time we are with friends that are entrepreneurs. So we talk about business.
yeah.
And so I can put it on my company as a write-off because it's a business, meaning kind of, because I always think that sometimes you just need one word, one sentence that can change your whole life. And we had like a lot of like dinner with friend and the friend that is not in the same industry as me tell me something and I'm like, wow, that's so smart and that's gonna change my whole business. So that's the power of course having a business and not having anything under your name. Very important. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm give myself a salary because I have an S corp, so I give myself a salary, but the minimum, once again, I don't want to be rich. I want to be the poorest. So the minimum legal to be considered as an S corp and not be a fraud, of course. Um, so I do that. I put myself uh, some savings for my business. I and of course my salary is my savings, okay, and of course sometimes I have to buy stuff that I cannot put under my company because it doesn't fit under that, and then I invest, of course, and then I just try to learn more about the 401k, the Roth IRA, because we don't have that in France, so it's something new for me, and I know I could deduct more about that. So once again, I'm not perfect yet. I try to be perfect in terms of what I can write off for my company, but there are stuff that I don't know yet. And so, of course, then that's why I said I invest in crypto and I invest in stock. So, crypto, I was big back in the day. I try to reduce because so many stuff happened personally. I could make a podcast about that. And so, right now, I would say crypto will be 10% of what I invest every month, and the stocks will be like 90%.
Yeah. Yeah, we both focus. I mean, I'm still W-2, so I have a good amount of my paycheck that goes already into 401k. I already have a Roth. And so, aside from those types of things, we do the additional investing on stocks and crypto and things like that. But
Yeah, I handle the stocks for you.
yeah,
Like,
and that's also like, I'll talk about this in another episode, but I've talked a lot about this on my social media. But if there are things that you're like, I know it's good to invest in, but you don't have the knowledge or you don't feel confident in it, like don't invest in it or go with someone who knows what they're doing. Like I've tried to understand crypto so many times. If you guys have seen our episode with Ryan, like Ryan explains it so well.
I'm so sad. So
But
sad for Ryan. Poor
but
guy.
like Tommy feels great with investing in stocks and crypto. So for me, I'm like, I don't want to spend extra time really mastering it because he already knows it. So I'm like, you know what is good. So just tell me what to invest in and I'll do that. And I love real estate, like what we were talking about earlier. I love real estate. So same thing. Like when I see properties, I'm like, hey, you should invest in this, or here's what I think this will
Yeah.
be, you know? So I think there's a lot of value in like, you don't need to have the same skill sets. You don't need to master the same exact things.
No, that's even better
It's
because,
better, yeah.
for example, for real estate, I can be like, okay, you do it, but I give you the money and
Yeah.
you handle. And for stocks, that's what I do. Like,
I'm like, here's my money.
yeah,
Move it.
I tell her, I'm like, hey, you have to invest this one. So what we do is we do DCA, so it's dollar cost average. That means that I don't care if the market goes up, go down. I just invest what I need to invest every week. So I don't care what is happening. It's a World War III, World War IV. I don't care. I'm investing, and that's why we are so chill about that. Like some people when they start investing, and I did that. So I'm telling you, they open like their Robinhood. I used interactive broker, but they open their broker every 5 minutes. It won't change anything.
Yeah.
So just invest, do your stuff, and just honestly delete your app. You don't need your app on a day-to-day basis.
I mean, there's also, I mean, and this is again probably a conversation for another day of like, there's different types of investing. Because if you're like day trading versus
Yeah, yeah.
like
Oh
you're
no,
just
no.
putting yourself,
Wait.
like it's, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's not day trading. It's like I think that's what we call it swing trading. It's like long-term investment. What I buy, I read a lot of book about stocks, and one of the quotes was very powerful. It was like buy stock as if you would buy a house. So like keep them for at least 10 years. Of course, you have like exception. Sometimes it would be 5 to 3 months because you have a good deal. But in general, the longer you get your stock, the more profitable you are. I think the stat is that if you hold your stock for like 10 or 15 years, like with all the data they have from the past, you're 98% in profit.
It's not
So
bad.
you cannot lose money in stocks if you're patient. The problem with stocks is that people sell when it's low and buy when it's high, aka they are not patient. The more you put patience in stocks and all the investments, the more you make money. And so that's why it's like, for me, I love it. And also what I don't like in real estate, as I say, it's like you need to see like a realtor, then the buyer, I mean the seller needs to agree, then blah blah blah, then when you have renter,
He also doesn't want to talk to
I don't want
people.
to talk to people. I want to be like, okay, today I want to invest, I don't know, Amazon, boom, I buy Amazon, that's it. I want to sell it, boom, I sell it. And nobody told me anything during these two actions. And I love that. And so also something that I do with the money, I mean, you do that too. It's like to have like a saving account, especially that I love
Yeah.
with the US dollar is that right now it's a bit low. It's like I use a specific bank account that give me 4%, and that's very good because 4% is insane. Like some people that fight with real estate, for example, or even with their investment in stocks, to get like 6 7% a year. I'm happy to have like my money on a bank account 4%. That's perfect. So this is like kind of the emergency fund. You know
Yeah.
what we say, we need to have like 6 months in advance. I think this is bullshit. That's depend on how you spend. Like me, I think I have like 1 year in advance. I don't want too much, but 1 year I feel comfortable with that. I know some people they feel comfortable with 2 months. So it's really up to you and how much you can make money, how much you can get the money, and everything. But it's good to have liquidity because you never know what is going to happen, and it's good to be like very fast. I know a lot of people they have a lot of money but stuck stuck sorry in real estate. It's tough when you had to make a quick move.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, so that's how we do. And honestly, there is not a once again, everything we told you in this podcast is like how we feel about it, right? The worst is like having a setup when you're not comfortable, you don't feel happy, you feel stuck in it. Um, what we do, and I know she doesn't put like the same saving emergency fund that I do, and that's good. The most important is to
No, I
feel,
still have a emergency
yeah,
fund.
but you don't have like 1 year. I don't think so.
I think I have about like 6 7 months.
Exactly.
So
But that's what I was saying is like everybody needs to feel comfortable because the worst is like to build like a frame and not feel good about it. We're talking about your
yeah, you
life.
need to feel confident too
Yeah,
with
exactly.
money
You need to
and
be confident, comfortable, and it happened sometime in the past where the business was a bit down and all stuff, and I was so stressed, and I'm like, wow, I don't want to live that anymore. So that's why I want to be like very chill, very cool about that, and that's why it's like good to create your own rules, spend the way you want, and do whatever you want. You see on internet all those guys that are like, oh yeah, if you stop buying your $5 a day Starbucks coffee, you will make blah blah blah. Yeah, but maybe the Starbucks coffee is what you love, so
yeah.
do it. You have to do things you love, but don't do things to impress people because
Yeah.
people they don't give a shit about you.
That's
Maybe they could,
beautiful.
I know, maybe they could be impressed on the moment, but in 2 months they will forget. Okay, so never do something for anyone else, and also don't cut out what you love. For example, I love to travel. I love to go on good restaurant to eat good food. Like last week, I order like I make like a recipe at home. I think it was $60. So expensive. In France, it would have been $10 max, but it was so expensive. But I wanted to do that, so I didn't want to cut on that. But for example, I will not go above and beyond for like yeah to have like a nice watch or a nice like clothes. I don't care. That's
Yeah.
not important for
Or like a
me.
nice car, you know. Neither
Yeah,
of us are like crazy car
yeah,
people.
yeah, I don't care about that. Like for me, a car is to bring you to point A to point B. But I understand some people that love cars, they love engine and all the stuff. Like me, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
as long as it's working, perfect.
But that's what it's like. Everyone has their. I'm actually glad you said that. I'm like, everyone has their thing because we talked a lot about like saving and investing, but you should spend your money too. Like, it is hard earned money. You should
Mm-hmm.
have those things in life that bring you pleasures and you should spend money on them. Like you said, like hours is traveling.
Yep.
It might be going to, a concert. It might be going to, a basketball game. Like, we have different things that we're like, you know what, it's like worth the money. Like, I enjoy spending, like, I enjoy doing a Sephora run and getting, nice
You do.
makeup and stuff like
You do
that.
enjoy that.
Some guys are like shoe people or whatever, whatever that looks like. I think you should, don't have like a problem with things, but if you have some money around and that brings you pleasure, like, buy it. You're gonna be happy that you did.
No, yeah, clearly you need to enjoy. We have one life, so you need to spend. At some point, yeah, money is made to be spent. So either you spend on something that you want to buy to impress people, or something that you really love. Like for example, one of my team member, um, she live in France, and she bought a horse because she's passionate about horses. She did competition and all that stuff. So expensive to buy a horse, but it's her passion. For her, it's better to have a horse than to have a car. Um, Good for her. You know what I mean? Good for her.
Yeah.
Like the most important is to do things that you love, but not like I see so many people. Like honestly, we joke a lot about that. when we take like a flight, and
Yeah.
we take Spirit because we are in
Like
Orlando.
Spirit or Frontier.
Yeah, we have a lot of that.
We are
Um,
the wait, sorry. We're the definition of like we literally fly Spirit or Frontier to like our connection, and then we fly business and then go stay at like the Ritz.
yeah, that's
It's the
true.
most
And,
like
and
ironic statement.
and in the meantime, we go to the lounge.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We sit
That
in the lounge
that
before boarding our like
yeah, that's
Spirit
very
or
funny.
Frontier
But
flight.
if you see us in the street, you're like, oh, like they are average people, and that's cool because the worst is like to pretend you have money when you don't, or just to pretend you have money because people are gonna be interested for the bad reason. But what we love, it's like when we sit, because we have like good status at Spirit, so we always like seated the first and all stuff. Anyway, and so we see everybody coming, and we see like a lot of like Dolce Gabbana, like Louis Vuitton bag, and I'm like
I've never seen so much designer in the way that I
that's
see it
true.
on a discount airline.
But what
I
what
don't know why.
but what people don't understand with look rich, it's like when you rich, you know. I don't know how to explain, but it's kind of like
Well, I also think it like we see all the designer when we fly Spirit or Frontier, and I really almost never see anyone wearing designer like that when we fly like business class,
no,
like
and it's
through
and
continents, you
it's
know?
also it's also not the same product.
Yeah.
Even if they wear designer clothes, it's not
Yeah,
the
it's
same
not the
product.
same.
Because that's why I say it's like,
Or it's like very tasteful. It's not super
yeah,
loud
yeah,
or
exactly.
anything
It's
like that.
elegant, it's like classy, and it's because people wants to look rich, but they are not. And being rich is not just the way you look; it's what you have in your mind,
No, it's everything.
and it's like
It's like a
all,
vibe.
and it's also kind of like the I don't know how to explain. So I'm going to give you an example. Do you think the Vanderbilt, if they see you, they want you at their table? They won't. They don't want. It's their own like group. They don't want you. So what I mean by that is that those people know that you're not rich. And of course, I took the extreme, but like people that make a lot of money, they know. Like they know. And so that's why I'm like, don't spend your money on dumb shit to impress fake people. If people are impressed and want to be your friend because you look rich, no, they are not your friend.
Yeah.
So run away. So that's why it's like good to be like very, very chill, very honest, and that's also why first date we talk about money. And I remember first date I was like, hey, I have $3,000 on my account. It's gonna be the lowest you're gonna see me. I was upfront. It's not like I say, hey, yeah, I make a lot of money, and then she's like, oh, you don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
No, I was upfront,
I
and
actually think when you said that, I laughed. I was like, if this is your lowest, I was like, life is great. I was
yeah,
like, this is.
that was not great for me.
Yeah, he was
That
like
was that.
sweating. He's like, oh, it's like super low. I was like, I have seen a lot worse shit. I was like, if that is your
Yeah.
low, I was like, we'll be good.
But it's good for me to be very honest about that because um once again some people that they are trapped in a life because they lie, they pretend they are rich, they are not. And once again, richness is not everything. Like the most important is to be happy, at
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Like, I was like, money does help get you things that can make you feel happier, but truly at the end of the day, you need to be
No,
happy.
real happiness,
Like,
you can buy
I,
it.
I guess let me rephrase. I'm like, I think money gets you access to things that maybe might be a better experience or something like that. Or, I mean, it could also be things like healthcare and things like that.
Yeah.
But ultimately, whether you have a lot of money or like, it doesn't make you truly happy. You need to really be happy in who you are.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. I understand what you mean, but it's exactly that because I'm I remember when I had no money and I launched my company. So I was at the minimum wage in France. So I was making, I think, 18,000 a year back in the day. That's nothing. That's way less than I make in a month. But that's funny. And but I was happy because I was working on my company that I love. I was passionate about that. And yes, of course, now I have a better life. Like I can lie. But am I that happier? I don't think.
No, I don't think
You know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Actually,
think.
even we were talking about that. We were like, the life that we live today, I don't think either of us thought that we would even be living this life.
Yeah, that too. That is too. That like.
But also, like what you said, like, I don't know if I'm, like, I think back to times when I was like super poor in my early 20s or when I was in college and stuff. And I'm like, I still had amazing times then. Like, I don't know if my happiness has
Exactly.
changed
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
crazy
I
way
agree.
because I have more money, but
And also the fact that the fact that we underspend our money is so important because we can have unplanned stuff. So
yeah.
you know a lot of story about people that are like, oh, I have that, I didn't plan it, like, oh, I'm not good in my finance. But as we underspend in our life compared to what we earn, we can have
Like we'll
like,
just fly
yeah,
somewhere.
for
We'll
example,
be
the
like,
best
let's.
moment in April, I was not feeling good because my visa was
Oh
like
yeah.
running in circle. I couldn't see the end of that. And I came in her office. I'm like, hey, do you want to go to Puerto Rico tomorrow? She's like, okay, and we just left.
Yeah.
That's the
And we did
superpower.
that before too. We were like, we went on a skiing trip. Like literally, we bought the ticket. Our flight was leaving the next day.
No,
Like,
no, at night.
oh yeah. Oh no, it was that
It was at
day.
night. It was
We
at night.
literally he texted me in the morning, and then we flew out that evening.
That was
So we
funny.
were doing things like that where most people would be like, "What the hell?" But we're able to do it, and we love it. We That is one of the things that we do
That's good
spend our
memories.
money on because it gives us great memories, and we always have a great time. Like it's for us, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why a lot of people, my point is like a lot of people, they just wait and then they react. If you want to be good with your money, if you want to be good in your life, anticipate, plan. It's so important. That's why like entrepreneur are better with money. It's because they have to plan. If they always react, at some point they're going to do a burnout. So you have to plan, and it's the same with your money. So that's why I really like encourage a lot of people to underspend a lot, to have emergency fund as we said, but also to be like, hey, sometimes I want to treat myself. You can, because all your effort, I mean, it's not even effort
Like
because
you did
that's
the hard work before, I guess.
yeah, and because at some point it's just like, bah, your life is good, you don't need more.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
for
what is one more restaurant for us? Like, we literally won't give a shit.
yeah, exactly.
Honestly, most of the time we're like, let's just sit at home and chill. Like, we
I
don't
love
want to
that.
go anywhere.
I love that. Yeah, and especially like that's a good bad problem that I have is that so I'm half French, half Italian, the best for food. But I never found like a good Italian restaurant in Orlando. Let me rephrase. I didn't find a good Italian better than what I can cook.
Yeah.
So when I want Italian, I'm like, I'm going to do it myself. I know it's going to be better and it's going to be way cheaper. So let's do that. So that's also good. But once again, because I'm passionate about that. And that's important. So
Yeah.
do you want to add something to finish?
No, I think that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we kind of covered everything, like
Yeah, I
how
think that
we,
was good. We
yeah,
talk a lot about personal stuff, but that's good. We talk about how to manage money.
yeah,
So
and
that's
to
nice.
enjoy. You should also enjoy your life. You
Yeah.
get one life, enjoy
Yeah, clearly,
it.
clearly. And choose your right partner because
Yeah. Hey, what you?
ow.
Hey.
No, it's good. It's good to have like a for me I see love as a teammate. You need to create a team. And a
Yeah.
lot of people they are just one and one. You
Yeah.
need to be
We're always working
together.
at it as a team.
Yeah, that's most important. That's the way you go further. So
Yeah.
that being said, we're gonna do other videos more about like Neha, then more about me, and we're gonna
Yeah, specific
and then we could
topics.
specific topics and don't hesitate put in the comments like if you want some
Yeah.
specific topics, some stuff. As always, no matter where you listen, where you watch that, subscribe, comment, like, it,
Share.
share everything. And if you watch that with your partner, like let us know. I think it could be
Yeah. Oh,
cool.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's my job, like it's been 7 years, I know that.
But fix the attitude, huh? If you need to tell them to fix their attitude, you can.
But yeah, like don't hesitate. And once again, the most important with this podcast is to to bring the talk. So don't hesitate to comment. I love to comment and to answer everything. Sometimes it's Neha, sometimes it's me, but we love to do that.
Yeah. And
Um,
no question is too like private. Like we're very open books. Like we
yeah, yeah,
maybe
basically.
overshare
Maybe too much, maybe
sometimes.
too much, but you'll see that in the next episode.
Yeah. But like
You
that's
see, that's good.
yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that. But yeah, like no question is too deep or too personal. Like
No,
we
and
love
no,
talking about stuff
no,
like
it's
that. So
it's even good to talk about those stuff and to share. It's like some people make a drama about that, but I think it's very healthy to talk about like stuff that most of the people won't talk.
yeah.
So yeah, don't hesitate. We'll be here
Yeah.
and see you soon.
See you guys soon.
Bye.
Thanks guys. Bye.